What's going on, YouTube family? Thank you again for tapping in and tuning into this video. I know it has been some time since I have dropped another video, created more content, and Spirit has really just been taking me through a phase of, it's kind of like the hermit mode, just really staying to myself, going back into my studies, just taking it much more serious, taking my craft, what I do, much more serious. So again, I do apologize. Honestly, I don't apologize. Look, Spirit said I need to go within, so therefore I needed to go within. That being said, I bypass that, fast forward. Just happy to be back here to share this with you all, and I hope, as always, that hey, something may be said that you can take value out of, that you can apply it to your own individual life. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you can see, the message of today's title is, hey, the importance of trusting yourself and going within. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I heard this a lot, and I'm always like, what does that mean to go within? And everybody tells you, oh, you need to meditate, sit still, be silent. And I know for me, it was something that I did for quite a while, and I really didn't get results. And I guess what I mean by results was, it was like, all right, I'm doing this, now what? What's next? And I realized there had to be some intention behind that. And what do I mean? What was the purpose of me doing this meditation? What was my why behind it? Why was I trying to do this? And for me, there wasn't any intent there. It was just doing it to do it because this is what I've been told, not really understanding the purpose behind doing it. So why should we go within? Well, the biggest thing why you should go within is, one, it's going to help you connect with your own individual spirit, your higher mind, or your higher self. Why would you want to do that? Well, the reason for you doing that, and I like to break it down this way. Think about the analogy of, visualize this real quick. You have a pot of water, right? And in that pot of water, let's just say that there's 10 spoons. And then from that 10 spoons, you take it out. And even though the appearance of the water being separate, we all know it came back from that one source, that one pot. So think about that way as far as source energy, or what some people call God, Allah, however you want to interpret, whatever terminology you would like to use, it's still source energy, or this infinite amount of energy. Well, your soul, so to speak, is a fragment from that source. So it's essentially branched off from that main source. And how that source was able to fragment itself into individual divine sparks, individual souls, your soul can break itself off and fragment itself into individual spirits. So henceforth, you having multiple lifetimes, multiple incarnations. Now, why is this important? Because that part of you, your spirit, is a reflection of your soul, and your soul is a reflection of all, the divine source. And if all knows everything, I mean, it is all, beginning, what is, what can be, what has been, all of that, then why would we not tap into that? Why would we not listen to that? Why would we continue to turn our back onto that? Now, I'm going to get more into that, why some people do that. But again, if your soul, which knows all, and is communicating a message to your spirit, and your spirit is trying to tell you something, then why would you not listen to it? The reason you wouldn't listen to it is more than likely because you've probably been conditioned to not believe into it, just to think, oh, it's just certain thoughts I'm having, or oh, it's just my imagination, or oh, that's nothing, and you probably just shrug it off, continue to go about your day, and whatever. So what I'm starting to see as I do more of my coaching sessions, sorry, excuse me. But as I'm working with more clients, and what I'm starting to see is there's this doubt. And a lot of people have this doubt within themselves. And again, it stems back from their past, their conditioning, what they've, gone through, everybody telling you, hey, that's a stupid idea, don't do that, that's not going to work. And they doubt it. They don't have this trust within themselves. And what that typically tells me is they don't have a strong relationship with their spirit, or with their higher mind, or with their higher self, that it does not exist, because they're constantly being led astray from their own ideas, from what their own spirit is telling them. Now, again, why is this important? Well, it's important because people are always asking, like, what's my next step? What do I need to do next? What's the next move for me? I'm constantly doing readings and stuff. I don't know what to do next. And it's like a lot of the things I get within these readings, it's like, hey, did you ask yourself about this first? What did yourself tell you? I've always told that your first thought is your correct thought. And when you ask these questions, it's not for you to essentially think it through, but it's for you to allow that impression to come upon you. What do you feel? And then write that down. And like I said, it's not you creating this. It's not that you are imagining this. No, this is your spirit communicating to you. Now, here's the problem with this. Or I don't want to say problem. The thing is, when you decide and finally open up to your spirit and actually started listening to it, what's going to happen is you're going to strengthen that connection with it. And the more that you strengthen that connection with it, that voice is going to get stronger, it's going to get louder, and then you actually be able to decipher the voice. Because I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to your intuition, and that's typically how spirit is going to communicate its messages through you. Now, that's not going to be the only way. Keep that in mind. Spirit will speak through your intuition, but it may be speaking through symbols, synchronicities, whether you're seeing like angel numbers. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're seeing angel numbers, more than likely, like I said, it's not just your spirit or your higher self. In that case, it is your angels, archangels, whoever's on your spirit team trying to convey a message over to you. But again, we've been taught to think that that's just a coincidence, or you're just seeing things. But first, let me say this. One, there are no coincidences. Universal law of cause and effect. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Nothing happens to just happen. So we need to realize that. And you also need to realize when you have certain thoughts, and understand that your thoughts are tied to your emotions. They're intertwined. You cannot separate them. If you have a thought, then you also have an emotion as well. Now, why this is important is when you have certain thoughts and it's tied to emotion. What is the emotion? The emotion is the energy in motion. So you're tapping into a certain energy, aka a certain spirit, whether I said it's your guides, whether it's your archangels, whether it's your angels, whether it's your ancestors, it's still all energy. You're tapping into that, and that's why you're having the thoughts that you're having. But again, going back into the society that most of us grew up in, raised in, you weren't taught to have faith in yourself. You were taught to allow other people to do the thinking for you. So when it comes to you doing your own thinking, or even having some degree of trust within yourself, it's not there. So again, why is this important? Well, this is important because it helps you to get out of that, that reality. I'm not saying everybody's reality is negative. Some people have some good things going for them, but they keep finding themselves what's my next move? What's the next path on my journey? Or, what's the next step? How can I get to that next level to learn the lessons that are associated with that level? And how you do that is by strengthening that connection with yourself, with your spirit. Strength, it's almost like a muscle, so to speak. And I almost want to, I have to constantly keep telling people this. Just like any muscle, you're not about to walk into the gym if you ain't been in that gym for almost 2 something years, or there's been some substantial amount of time since the last time you went to the gym. You're not going in there off the bat, unless you're some type of freak or nature or whatnot, and going to be lifting 315 pounds. It's just not happening. You have to stay consistent with it. You have to keep doing it over and over. And then think about it. For me, when I got into lifting weights, the more I did it, the more, one, I saw the results of it, but then two, I knew I had to change certain aspects, such as my diet, do more reading, do more research into what muscle groups I'm trying to focus on to increase, really taking that taking exercising much more serious. And it's the exact same thing when it comes to you working with your spirit, or even strengthening your intuition, so to speak. You have to actively put forth an effort into doing so. And it just can't be like an overnight type of thing. It just can't be, oh, okay, I did it once, and then boom, you expect to have all the answers and be talking to all your different guides and ancestors and whatnot. It's something that the more you do it, the more you stay consistent with it, the more you're going to see this, get strengthened. The more that you're going to be able to decipher that connection and decipher who you're talking to, and who you're communicating with. So again, just to do a quick recap and to circle back around, why this is all important is it's important because you have all the answers within you. Everything exists within, and that's why you keep hearing people tell you, go within, sit down, be silent. What are you feeling? What's coming to you? They're not saying that just to be redundant or just saying that because that's what they heard somebody else said. And I'm not going to act like there's not people out here who are just regurgitating information, who don't know the reason, and they're just saying what everybody else is saying. But there is a purpose to everything. There is an intent behind it, and that's what I'm saying. There has to be an intent. So if you are going through something, or you are going through some situation in your life, or some personal matters that you're facing, you can take that to your spirit or to your higher self and ask, higher self, I call on you right now, and I ask you to be here within me, within this space, and I call upon your energy. And then just sit there and feel that, feel the difference, feel the change of the energy within you. It's not you making this up. It's not you imagining this. Again, law of cause and effect. If you call to your spirit or your higher self, and then the effect of is you feel a different feeling, then it's letting you know that that energy is present with you right now. You're not making this all up. It's not your imagination. And again, when you learn to trust that more, when you learn to not doubt that, I promise you it's going to get more stronger. But you have to be able to be willing to even start and to stay consistent with it and to not give it up. And again, like I said, by you doing that, it's like a ladder, and it's like an infinite ladder, so to speak. And each ladder is a degree. And the more that you stay with it, the more you climb up that ladder, you go to a different degree and a different degree and a different degree and so forth. So again, like I said, it's important because if you're really, I don't want to say if you're really serious, because hey, to each their own, this is your own journey. But if you're going to take this work, spiritual work, or whatever, however you want to say it, I don't like putting terms because I feel like that can, the best way I can put it is, look, if you're going to do this, you got to take this serious with yourself. And you have to sit with yourself and you have to listen. And then here's the next part. You can't be mad. I'm not saying you can't be, because you can, but with whatever comes to you, whatever answer you get, it may not be the answer you were looking for. Like they say, if you don't want to know, don't go ask, because that's the thing. Spirit's going to keep it real with you. It's not going to beat around the bush. It's not going to be indirect. It's going to let you know. And you may not like the way you feel once you get that answer, but I assure you that answer is within your highest good, or it's to help you go to the next step. Now, here's another thing. To some of you, Spirit has been talking and been loud. And when you choose to intentionally ignore that or put it off, I'm gonna be real, because some of us, or not some of us, but a lot of us, signed up for this. A lot of us decided to be here, and like your spirit's trying to help you navigate through this journey, while you're in this vessel, to navigate this ship on this 3D plane of existence. It's trying to help you. It's kind of like a GPS, so to speak. It's telling you to go here, turn here, make that left. But when you don't do that, Spirit's like, all right, I have to step in. And then you start having all these negative situations, and it's making you feel some type of way, and now you're like, oh, why is my life like this? And I'm here to tell you that, like, Spirit is not intentionally trying to make your life hard on you, but it is trying to get your attention. And that's when some people start seeing themselves go through the dark night of the soul. And I'm definitely going to make a video on that, just to kind of go more deeper into what the dark night of the soul is. But yeah, like I said, this is really important for you to gather and form a relationship, if you haven't already, with your spirit, with your higher self, with your spirit team, because they are here waiting for you. You have to understand one thing about free will. They will not impose and impede on that. They won't. One, they operate on a higher divine, more cosmic level, and that goes against it all. They can't impede on your free will, so to speak. So unless it's like in a situation where you need the protection, like a life or death situation right then and there, that's a little different. But if it's just your normal day-to-day living, they're just sitting here waiting. Hey, you gonna call on me? Because like, you have to understand, like, you're the coach, and you have to tell them, hey, get into the game, or hey, I need you to do this, or hey, run this play out, or whatever. And that's what they're waiting for you to do. But if you don't do that, if you don't like I said, develop a relationship with them. They're just going to be there, and they'll throw you signs left and right. But again, until you choose to actually acknowledge the signs, choose to act on the information that you're giving, and apply that information so you can, not only apply it, but understand it, develop wisdom by actually applying the information, applying the knowledge to what you ever received. Therefore, you can develop an understanding from that. Until you take the time to do that, then I promise you're just going to be running in circles. And I'm not saying that to say that, I'm saying that from experience, because that's what I did. I decided to intentionally not look at this, to ignore the signs. I mean, I was getting hit by synchronicities. I was getting hit by angel numbers. So many things that were telling me, you need to let go of this. You need to, pay more attention. You need to start to incorporate more meditation into your daily practices. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to enjoy my life, stay in the, society, whatever. And Spirit definitely had a way of waking me up towards that. But like I said, everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. But if, hey, you stumbled upon this video today, then I hope, like I said, there was something that resonated with you that you can take and apply, and really, use that. But what I'm going to do is, if you want me to go more, or you want to maybe have more of a personal one-on-one with me, and we can really go more deeper into this and maybe expand on some things, definitely feel free. I'm going to drop my email, places where you can contact with me and just get in contact, and whatnot, and we can go from there. But again, thank you all for taking your time out of your day to watch this. Much love to you, and I appreciate you. Bye.